Why doesn't the leadership of our party, on another issue for the middle class, and I am talking about everyone holding office under our state's banner, talk about truly comprehensive property tax reform? I'm not talking about mere appraisal reform. I'm not talking about tinkering with it around the edges. But I mean appraisal reform, but I also mean real caps on local government spending. I'm talking about your municipality, your counties, and your school districts. Many in our party are too afraid of raising the IR. The Texas Municipal League, the Texas Association of Counties, and the Texas Association of School Boards, among others. These organizations claim they do not lobby with your tax money, but they use proceeds from PAC breakfasts, political action committee breakfasts, and they charge for meetings that are often written off as in the expense reports of local government and school officials attending. And they're attending those meetings with your money, in many cases anyway. Note, all of these associations lobby to some extent your legislature, in effect, with your tax money. They all have a big party in Austin, and you pay for their drinks, meals, lodging, and fees while they whittle away at your paycheck and your savings. They're doing this with your tax money, in effect. Those folks need to be restrained. Those folks need to be retrained as well. They need to learn to fear their own party's voters. I'm talking about our representatives, more than any lobbyist or association of local governments who I don't think should be allowed to lobby in the manner they're allowed to lobby now. Does our party exist to serve the interest of folks who share the founder's vision of no taxation without representation? Evidently not. If our party does, then why do we champion the election of our tax appraisal boards and Board of Appeals? We don't directly elect those people. Those people are elected by the taxing entities that benefit from the taxation of you. Why do we allow the continued institutionalized conflict of interest in allowing our taxing districts to control the whole process and select your appraisal boards and your arbitration board? So if you go down to appeal your arbitration, who's there? Someone who's been appointed by people who have been elected by taxing entities. This is un-American, and it's certainly un-Texan. When it comes to school spending, just how expensive does the artificial turf have to be in our professional quality high school athletic facilities in order to provide for a quality classroom education? I would like to know that. I ask Republicans, who are we supporting, institutions or people? Institutions don't vote. They lobby and throw some money around. We need to think about how we are allowing that. We need to think about stopping that. But at the very least, we need to send a message as grassroots conservative Republicans that we will not tolerate that. Who are we representing? And I'm speaking of legislators, senators, and everyone who serves in the state of Texas. Who are we representing? Institutions or taxpayers? And the answer for a Republican needs to be, I'm representing taxpayers because I'm too afraid of my primary voters not to. And that has not been an answer. And that is our fault. We must understand that we are responsible for electoral failure. And we also need to understand, on the positive side, that it is within our reach to do something about it. We need to put better people in positions of authority in our government. Our party must learn, again, to bring the message of prosperity through market economics to middle-class voters, not special perks. And one way to do that is to have comprehensive property tax reform in this state. On the federal level, we need comprehensive tax reform. And I'm all for the Bush tax cuts. Don't get me wrong. They should be extended. But we also need to address the alternative minimum tax because basically over time, we are all, or nearly all of us, going to be put into that bracket through inflation, through a program designed by LBJ to get at people he doesn't like. Now, if a Republican can't stand up to a program that was initiated by LBJ, that person is no Republican, and we need to replace them. Our party must once again bring the message of the rule of law through adherence to natural law. There are higher truths, folks. I stand here in an auxiliary building of a house of God, and there are higher rules than what our legislators want to put into law. And we need to hold them accountable to higher rules. Our party must once again define itself as American by making sure that every position we take is tested by comparing it and comparing that position to the founders' original intent and the jewel of our republic, our Constitution. We must make sure our view of government restrains those who choose an excess of government. And we absolutely must learn to police our own, to actively be voting in the primaries, to actively be working in the primaries, and actively, but respectfully, but actively, loudly speaking truth to power. These comments are not exhaustive or comprehensive. There are many other issues I'm concerned with. But if we will keep our Constitution in mind, if we will keep the roots of our republic in mind, and compare every action, compare every bit of legislation that is proposed to that, I think we will have a Republican Party that once again can attract the voters needed for us to become a dominant party. And I appreciate the time to speak to y'all tonight. It's my privilege. Thank you.